Friends, I am filming much later than I usually do. I feel like I look like a hot mess. Had to run some errands today. It was stressful, but listen, we have to come because Kodansha nailed it last week. And now we got Yen Press up on that hype train just delivering when it comes to their manga licenses. We gotta talk about it, y'all. Hello friends, happy Monday. So excited that you're here. So excited that we are just starting off 2026 on such an exciting note. I hope that this momentum that it carries for the rest of the year. I truly do. It is a wonderful thing right now. Very happy. No shoujo wins for me personally, though I did see for one of these licenses, a lot of people were very excited in the shoujo community, and one of them, I'll admit, I'm interested because of the creator. I'm also interested because of the story, but the art, beautiful, stunning, might have been sold on it the most. But of course, before we go into those things, I'm going to start doing what I do with Magical World Online. Anytime we got a new chapter, February 4th is when the new one should be coming. But you know, anytime we get a new one, we talk about it. But glasses, my very sweet glasses, Glass with a Chance of Delinquent, we got a new chapter and it was everything. Chapter 42. Before this point, I would say the home date is my favorite chapter in the series, but then I read chapter 42. I cried reading it the first time. I reread it and then I cried again. It is beautiful, powerful. If you are a big fan of Momo, you are going to love this chapter. Ichikura is great, don't get me wrong. And there's another side character who is fantastic, as they always are. So there was lots of good things, but Momo's moment that she had was beautiful, impactful. Like, I reread the chapter before this video and I said, oh no, gotta push it in. But them tears, they were there, y'all. It is a very, very wonderful chapter and I'm very excited to reread it again on K-Manga, but also in the future, read it physically. It is one of the best moments, in my opinion, in this series. If you have been reading on K-Manga, but you haven't read this chapter yet, y'all pause this video, go read it. It will be 100% worth it. It is so lovely and so wonderful, and I feel deeply blessed that Sensei is just, the more chapters we get, honestly, I feel like the better the series gets. But now we could go into those manga licenses, and 7Cs finally returned. Yay, Wonderful Wednesdays are back. Didn't get any wins from them either, unfortunately, but I was very excited to see that we got a new Josei series from them called Working as a Goddess. This seems a very amusing story. I think right now it's 1 volume and ongoing. It's about a young woman who is overworked to the point of where she unfortunately passes, and she thinks, well, okay, now things are gonna calm down. Wrong. Wrong. She is a substitute goddess in the afterlife, and she is trying to work through her new life as a goddess, substitute goddess, I guess, and things just going pretty crazy. I guess the character on the cover that has the halo is an angel who helps her with these duties so that she's not fumbling, but I guess the female lead is really questioning, is this really what she should be doing or wants to do, and should she even be in charge of other souls and other personalities? I'm not sure if I'll be picking it up, but I will be tuning in to hear what other people think because it just seems like a really fun series, and they were not the only one that had a new license, because I'm pretty sure last week we did mention the manga news video that Cross Hearts, they are back with their, what did they call it? Secret Wednesdays or something like that? I think that's what it was. But they did announce their new license, and I am very interested in this. It's called The Matchmaker's Fiancé. My fiancé won't leave me alone while I find him the ideal bride. What a title, right? What a title. So it seems to be about a young woman who has been engaged for 10 years, and her fiancé has just not treated her, I wouldn't say badly, but he does treat her very coldly. And so she finally comes to a point, because she still really loves this man deeply, but she sees how he acts with other women where he's not romantic, he's not cheating on her or anything like that, but I guess he has a softer tone or vibe, gives them smiles while he gives her nothing. So she decides, as the title says, the matchmaker's fiance, she's gonna play matchmaker. She's like, okay, obviously you're not happy with me, so let's find you somebody to be happy with, because your happiness is important to me, even if she herself is not happy, which I thought was very interesting. This really reminds me of Perfectly Fine in the Wind, Perfectly Fine on My Own. I believe the title here, I've already got it pre-ordered. It was in my top 10 most anticipated releases of this year. Though what's different about these is the female lead in that series takes charge of her own life, where she's like, okay, if he seems interested in somebody else and happy with other people, well, I'm just gonna go do my own thing. She doesn't break the engagement, and I guess when this female lead in The Matchmaker's Fiance, when she's like, hey, why don't we call this off so that you can go be happier, he says no. Now, I mean, I was very interested and intrigued about this title, but honestly, it was when I found out that I guess, I'm not sure if this is based on a light novel, but I do know that the writer of this series, we have a lot of her works in English, but they are light novels, and I really have wanted to try her work. She's got a mushroom light novel that sounds really cute. I believe last week we talked about her defying villainous strawberry with strawberry powers or something. It sounded really cute as well, but both of those are by her, and now we're getting a manga that is at least inspired or based off of one of her works, just, you know, in a manga form and by a different artist, and I'm very excited. That was sort of a selling point for me because I really would love to get, I didn't even know actually that this creator had manga of her works, but when I saw that we got this, and also for the strawberry light novel, it's got a manga in the works as well, and it looks really cute. She just has this little strawberry pop-up. It's like, at least when I checked out, I think it was on Bookwalker. No, it was a different website because a friend had shared the link, but some Japanese website, and it was very cute. The art style was very precious. I really enjoyed what I read, so I'm hoping if I support this manga that maybe there's a chance we will get more of her works. And ultimately, I'll say, and I did look in, sorry, I was gonna say different things, but I did look into the manga artist. I looked into her Twitter feed. It looks like our girl can use a sword, and I was like, oh, I was really excited. I was really excited to see that. So I think there's gonna be some action that happens later on, fingers crossed, but that had me excited. I don't remember what else I was gonna say before that, except for, yeah, I hope if I support this release that we will get more by this creator, because all of her works, this one seems more toned down because we don't have strawberries or mushrooms, but I'm hoping it will be very, very cute as well. Let's go into those Yen Press license announcements though, and oh my goodness, I'm so excited for this first one is The Bubble Love of the Mermaid. Now, what's crazy about this is the manga that got picked up. We've already had the audiobook picked up, and we already had the light novel, so to get the manga, to get a 3-in-1 combo, it feels like, of one series feels such an amazing thing. I was so happy to see this. Now, I'm going to also, though, as I tell you what this manga is about, I want to leave the very, very few pages that I found on Bookwalker Japan, how beautiful and stunning the art is of this series. I'm interested in the series, yes, but whew, the art of it is just captivating my heart. I'm like, I will tune in for volume 1 for the art alone if need be. But it seems to be about a young woman who has been very mistreated. Not sure if she's been abused by her family, but she has been mistreated. She's been pushed aside, and so she ends up going to this, I guess, all-girls academy. There's a rumor that there is a very handsome new teacher that comes on the scene, but she's sort of going to keep to herself because she's got this red mark on her wrist, and when I guess people see it, or at least her family, they're all like, I don't want anything to do with you. But lo and behold, this, I guess, handsome teacher, I think it's him, not 100% sure. I feel like there's more of a longer blurb on some book retailer website for the light novel, but he expresses interest in her, so much so that she gets a marriage proposal, and I guess so unfolds this romantic fantasy. I'm very excited. It's 2 volumes and ongoing. I truly, truly hope that I enjoy this series. The art is just so beautiful, and it's been a hot minute since I've read a series or wanted to read a series where I'm like, I could just read for the art alone. Now, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of beautiful series I've read, okay? I'm not saying I don't, but I have a very strict rule for myself. I cannot pick up series just for the art, but this one, y'all, I think I'm gonna break that rule. I think I'm gonna break that rule because it's just too beautiful not to break the rule. You know what I'm saying? The next one is the shoujo. Yes, I'm saying shoujo. I believe somebody said it's in the same magazine as A Witch's Life in Mongol, and that is Liz Rogue. Wow, people were popping off, full of excitement, seeing people get license wins, which I was so excited. If you got a license win, hoorah, my friend. I am so happy for you. I'm very curious about this, but also a little bit nervous. If you saw my tweet on Twitter, I said, is this a horror? Can anybody tell me? And a friend was like, well, it has the tags. I think she said mystery and thriller or dark and thriller. I'm like, okay, that's okay. I could do that. I just can't do horror. And I know I'd have to read during the day. But then a friend of mine who could read it Japanese was like, it's not maybe necessarily like your like horror in the sense of, we'll say, Five Nights at Freddy. Not that kind of horror, more of a psychological horror. So I think I'm gonna wait for early reviews to come in and then I'll decide, but I'm still excited nonetheless. This is a very unique, interesting series, I believe, because it is about humans who have been extinct or about to be on the verge of completely wiped out. So these chimeras take on the responsibility to sort of bring back humanity and making sure that I guess they're getting married, that they're populating the world again, so to speak. That's not the focus because it's about them living with humans and I guess how they're interacting. I did look up the first chapter because after what my friend said, and it was very funny because she made a comment, she's like, I feel like you sort of like more like easygoing, happy ending stories. She's like, this doesn't really seem like this. And I had to laugh because I felt called out. She wasn't called out. She was super sweet. But I was like, okay, I'll have one response for this. And I sent her that scene with Emmett from the Lego movie where he's like, I can be dark and brooding too. And he looks out the window. He's like, oh, hey, look, there's a rainbow. Yes, friends, that is me. That is my meme. I feel like that represents me as a person. And so I was like, yeah. I can do dark and broody. I can read like Queen's Quality and stuff like that. But in Magical Girl, which does have a little bit of grittiness to it, as she said, but I need a lot of hope to overshadow these things. So yeah, that's about as much as also here to, I guess, expand on the blurb that the main male lead seems to fall in love with this human. But this human seems to be getting married. And so he's wrestling with himself. Like he has a moment where he starts to transform, like his face transforms into this, I guess what they are, the chimeras that he transforms. Like, I don't know if that's part of the lore. I'm not familiar with those at all. But I was like, this guy looks pretty scary. So he's in love with her. And I think that's going to transform the relationship between them and the humans thus far. So it sounds very interesting and I love the cover. It is awesome in my opinion, and it was part of why I really wanted to give this a chance because of just how cool it looks. So if you've read it before, let me know if you think I would like it. I did mention in my beginning of the year tag that I really would like to continue to push myself to try things that maybe aren't necessarily a Lara-coded series, but ones I would like to give a chance nonetheless. The last one that I wanted to feature is Beneath the Fur, which looks so adorable. That little bunny on the cover don't look like no bunny. He's supposed to be a rabbit, but I'm not seeing it, but he looks so adorable nonetheless. So I guess he's about to get eaten by this fox, but he confesses his love that he's in love with the fox. And the fox is like, I'm assuming because, you know, prey and predator, but the more, I guess, the rabbit pursues this fox, the softer the fox's heart gets as the series goes on. I'm not really sure how long it is. Wait, now I think it was 4 volumes and complete is what Manga Updates had said. If my budget allows, I would like to give this one a try because it just sounded really, really cute. Yeah, I'm very curious about this one. Same as this last one. I mentioned last week that the time that I was filming that manga news video, that Manga Mavericks was having an industry panel, and I was like, well, we'll just talk about next week. And they had 2 different licenses. I can't remember the first one, but this one I'm really excited for, and that's Vegetable Sandwich. What a title. What a title. This is a 2-volume series, and what had me personally intrigued is it has delinquents. The male lead in this manga is a delinquent. He looks like a thug, looks rough, but he's really, really weak. He can't fight, I guess, for nothing, and that causes problems because he looks rough, and so I can imagine he find himself in this predicament of where he's about to get beat up. Again, I'm assuming that's based off of what I saw in the preview on the Bookwalker Japan website. Well, he ends up meeting this elementary schooler who doesn't have friends, and I don't know how it happened, okay? I don't know what happened, but somehow he finds himself at the zoo or something like that in front of this lion. The lion has broken out of the cage. Lo and behold, here comes this elementary student. She kicks the lion in the face. In the face! I was like, listen, that is where I was sold. I was already sold at the delinquent part of it, and interesting sounding title, but seeing this kid kick a lion in the face and knock out the lion, I'm like, hello, I need to learn more. This doesn't seem like a romance or anything like that. It just seems like a comedy story of a guy who looks like he can fight and can't fight, and a girl who looks young and probably wouldn't know how to fight, but can fight, and also is wanting a friend. So I'm assuming this very fun and quirky friendship emerges between them. And y'all, it blessed my heart just from what I saw y'all. I'm really excited. I hope I really enjoyed. This is actually the second manga that I will be or want to pre-order from them because I pre-ordered a different manga that I'm really interested in. I just kept thinking about it. I'm like, we're just gonna do it because when they had a sale. And listen, this is not a manga license, okay? Shout out to the commenter. I forgive me for being so slow, y'all, responding to y'all's wonderful comments. Thank you for your kindness, your support, your encouragement. But somebody said, if I could leave the comment here, I will. I know I took a screenshot of it, but I don't know if where I put it on my computer. They told me the villainess is adored by the prince of the neighboring kingdom did get picked up in English. It's digitally only right now, and I think you can only get it on Bookwalker, the international English site. And I was so excited. Right now, with this tweet that I'm sharing, it says chapters 1 through 10 are available, but it is ongoing on there. I have seen a few updates, well, that at least past chapter 10. I think it's like up to chapter 14 or 15. Thank you, commenter, for telling me because I haven't had a chance to read it, but let me tell you, as soon as I saw that comment, I was running to Bookwalker and I got that first free chapter. Very excited. I haven't tried it mainly because I know I'm gonna have the problem if I really like it. I'm gonna buy the rest of the chapters. And I'm like, okay, wait, we don't got room in the budget right now for that. So I'm truly so thankful. Like, yes, hopefully we get it physically in English. Like, that would be such a win if we do, because this is one that I do have on my license wish list, and I don't really know a lot of friends who watch this one or have been watching this. I'm very behind on my anime watching. I've only watched Tom and B-side. It's since I was sick this past week and my daughter was. I haven't watched episode 3, but I will be tuning in. Yes, and tuning in. Oh my goodness, who here loves giveaways? Because I know I do, and I think I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 different giveaways that I came across that I found. These are not in any certain order. I should have ordered them by like when they end. I do know, which I will share first, is the Tokyo Pop is giving a physical volume of Recurring a Mafia dating sim. You can go enter on Twitter. This giveaway ends the 20th, so you only have like a day to enter this. No, it's really last kind of minute, and I just happen to see it. All you gotta do is follow them, like the post, and go retweet it. If you watched my earlier video this month, I did mention this is my top 3 favorite reads of 2025. I love it a lot. I would highly, highly recommend it. It is so good. The next one is an early copy of The Makeup Remover, one of my most anticipated releases of this year. I'm not too familiar with this, though I have heard True Beauty, that if you watch that, wanted more, people have said, hey, then try The Makeup Remover. Or if you did like True Beauty, that you should try this one. They're giving an early copy, and it is this one. You don't have to be on Twitter to enter. You just go to, I don't even know what website it is, but you go to the website that they have linked below in the tweet, and this one ends January 28th. So you have a lot more time. I don't know if you can do multiple entries or anything like that. I just know it's an advanced copy. Now for this next one, it's not a manga. It's a manga we have in English, but if you want an art book, a signed one at that, or at least enter a chance to win a signed art book, this Nia the Starry Bride fan account is giving away 6 different art books. Yes, 6. 3 of them are signed, 3 of them are not. This ends January 31st. I hope I have time to film this video because my battery is dying, so I might have to like speed it up. They do have a few things that you have to meet. You have to follow the account. You have to do a quote retweet sharing your honest thoughts about it. The more detailed, the better. They do not need to be positive, but please remain respectful. You also have to include the hashtag. This is, I believe, for anyone in the world. So if you've wanted to check out that Nia the Starry Bride art book, this is your time. And last but not least, if you've been watching Tom and B-side, the anime, you're like, oh my goodness, I want to get on that manga hype train. I need to read the manga. Well, Manga Alerts is actually doing a giveaway. This ends January 23rd. And this one you just follow, like, and retweet, and then you comment your favorite idol or idol group. Very excited. This is going to be a giveaway for volumes 1 through 4. Highly, highly would recommend it. If you saw my short yesterday, you saw me gushing about volume 10, how excited I am to read it, because it's just been a very wonderful, wonderful series. And while I know Firefly Wedding, that the manga ended this past week, you can read the final chapter on Komiki. There is going to be I believe, a spin-off manga, and there's going to be 2 different side stories. We're not going to talk about if you love or hated it, though. Please be respectful and don't go blast the creator, as some people have done. Please don't do that. Or, you know, form petitions and sign the petition about how bad you feel it was. Let's not do that. Let's be respectful. But if you haven't read it, or you're just a big fan of the manga, or you did read it and you're still a big fan, we have an anime adaptation confirmed. confirmed for Firefly Wedding. Yes, friends, starting October 2026, we are getting the manga as an anime. Very excited. I believe people said this is by the same producer company as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so that feels like a big one in itself. The key visual here looks really good. I don't know if I'll be tuning in, but I'll be tuning in for hopefully everybody else's excitement. But yeah, that was the only anime news I surprisingly had for you guys, but it's a big one. It's a big one. Congrats to everybody who's a big fan of this series and really looking forward to it. The last few things we're going to talk about is cover reveals, because I love the cover reveals that we get. The first one being Baroness Goes on Strike Volume 2 by Crossed Hearts. We just got Volume 1 earlier this week and it looks fantastic. Haven't really heard anybody read it yet, but I truly hope. I think Shay Geeks Out's the only one I know that has for sure read it, but I love this cover. Really like how we have the male lead. It looks great. Very different than Volume 1 because I like the whites, the blues, and the greens, but I do like the red and the subtle green and the gold. Very beautiful. But this next one I absolutely love. That is Young of the Dawn Volume 46. This is one of my favorite covers in this series. It's so beautiful. Love Yona on the back cover. Love the dragons on the front. Very, very wonderful. Really hoping that Viz Media is going to come through and give us the little mini art book that's coming with Volume 47 in Japan. That would be pretty amazing. If they could do it with the King's Beast, they could do it with Young of the Dawn. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The next two are from Cross Infinite. They are light novels, not manga, just to put that emphasis there so nobody gets like, oh, I thought this was a manga. No, these are light novels. The first one is Volume 2 of If the Heroine Wants My Fiance, I'll Marry a Yandere Villain Instead. I love this cover. Love the greens. Love the yellows. It's just really nice. And I've been very curious about this series. Same as this next one that is a Volume 2 as well. And that is Breaking Up Was the Plan. The Duke Falling for the Villainess Was Not. This is by the same light novelist of My Sister Stole My Name in Another World, which is a fantastic manga. I would highly recommend that as well. The last two are from Yen Press, one of them being Volume 8 of I Want to Be a Receptionist in This Magical World. Love how Nunley looks here. Rockman looks fantastic. Volume 7 really left on this cliffhanger, so I really think Volume 8's cover is just on point, and you know, hey, the action is about to get intense and it's about to get greater, which leaves me excited because that's a really fun part of the series. And for the last cover reveal is To Sir Without Love, I'm Divorcing You, the manga Volume 3. Very beautiful cover. I really love the covers of the mangas a lot. They're just very pretty, and I don't know, I think the couple just looks great and the background looks nice as well, and really loving her purple dress and it goes with that purple background. Hello Yen Press, you knew what you were doing. So very beautiful cover and lots of exciting things to come this year. I'm worrying y'all so much for my budget when it comes to the second half of 2026. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we're gonna make it work, friends. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it work. Let me know, did you see anything from 7 Seas or Yen Press that you were excited for? I would love to know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!